slab leak detection. Slab leak detection starts right here at the meter. The reason being, this is where it's going to be realized if there is a leak or not. So one of the first things that we do, we come out, we put a gauge up on the house to determine what the existing city pressure is. The existing city pressure should probably be, I know a home inspector is going to tell you between 40 and 80 PSI. To be honest, out in the real world, it's probably between 80 and 100, 120. So we put a gauge on up at the house and we'll look at it here in a moment. But what I want to do, I want to do two different things. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my leak detection equipment and my cameras. As you see, I've got a GoPro and an iPhone just so that I can record everything as I do it. And what I'm going to do is, first of all, I want to listen right out here at the meter while it's still on, just to see if I hear anything. So as you can tell, I'm sitting just off the meter. I'm on the brass. I'm pressing my gun. Everything is nice and quiet. So I'm going to do one other thing while I'm out here. This is the double check for the irrigation system. And I'm just going to kind of get up on these to where I can listen to it just to see if there's anything running through. And actually it sounds nice and quiet too. So I've got both of these sounding quiet. Now, this is literally where leak detection starts. You want to come out, you want to get your gauge on the house so you know what the pressure is. You want to open it up. That way you know it's registering full city pressure. And then you come out here and turn the meter off. Now that we've got that done, we're going to walk up here and look at the pressure, look at the gauge, see what it does. So as you see, we've got the gauge on here at the house. It's actually taking about 75 PSI. We have our red needle adjusted on it. The valve is open. Now, I have found a valve handle in here, and it's a gate valve. I'm not going to turn it. I'm going to clean it off a little bit just where it can be seen a little bit better, but I want to listen to it, and I don't hear any water running. Okay, so this is the valve box up by the house. One thing you do when you first do leak detection is you want to come put a gauge on the house, determine what the city water pressure is. Right now we're sitting at about 75 PSI, and we have our needle on it to know that we've got it set just right. Now, this is a secondary valve. This is an isolation valve to shut off going into the house. Now, they've got an old gate valve in here, and you can see the gate valve, but this is something that most plumbers will not turn. Reason is, you're either going to break the top of the handle where it's rusted and it's rotten, or you're gonna try to tighten it down. The gate's gonna go down, it's gonna lock, you're gonna strip the threads on the brass and it's not gonna open back up. So if we wanted to keep doing the leak test, which I can pretty much tell you by this, it has not moved, and it's probably been on about 5 minutes already. So if it had moved, what I would do is come listen to this valve, and I'm listening to it right now, and there's nothing. And we just lost pressure, so what happened is somebody just opened something on the inside. As you can see, the pressure just dropped down, and you see the water dripping on the vacuum breaker. Somebody just used the water inside. They either flushed a toilet, opened a lavatory, the washing machine, dishwasher, something came on. It was holding perfect pressure, and then it dropped all of a sudden. So step one of leak detection is come out, put the gauge on, open the hydrant, and then go turn the meter off. Now, you always ask the customers not to use any of the plumbing. Sometimes they forget. It's just habit. I get it. But an ice maker could have kicked on, a dishwasher could have kicked on, the washing machine, anything at all. We just always try to remind them, make sure nothing's turned on. That way this doesn't happen. We will start our test over, which is no big deal. But first thing is shut the meter off. Once we shut the meter off, we test this. If it is still leaking, this valve at the house is normally the second thing that we shut off, because what we've done now is we've isolated the yard from the house. Now, like I told you, this is an old gate valve, so we would not isolate this. We would go to the next step, which would be turning off the water at the water heaters. If there is not a gate valve there, if there's a ball valve there, we want to isolate that next. If you think about a leak detection job as 4 sections, you've got the yard section. So you've got the yard and the house. Then whenever you get into the house, you've got 2 more sections. You've got the hot and the cold. So first of all, you want to shut it off to test everything. Then you want to shut it off here or isolate here to try to isolate the house from the yard. Then if there is a leak, and at that point, you're either going to see it on your gauge here, or you're going to put this gauge in on a washing machine box, which is normally one of the best places to do this. A washing machine box, or even a tub and shower valve. Open the hot and cold, put an adapter on, put your gauge on there and check it. It's perfect. You want to isolate as much as you can. You want to determine, is it in the yard? Is it in the house? Is it on the hot? Is it on the cold? Because now you're narrowing down where you need to be looking for a leak, if there is one. So once we get the gauge on, turn the water off at the house, we're going to check the pressure, see what the pressure does. Now, the pressure should not drop at all. And people always ask, what is the allowance? I allow nothing. If it drops, there is a leak. I need the customer to know that. Now, it could be a leaking faucet. It could be a leaking TMP valve. It could be a dripping valve out in the backyard, front yard, anywhere at all. So I just want to make sure that I make note of it. Now, the reason that we do that is if someone is buying this home, we want them to be aware of any possibilities of a leak. It's up to them to determine whether they still want to buy it or not. It's not for me to determine, well, it's a small enough leak, you shouldn't worry about it. The leak in the wrong spot could lead to foundation problems. So what we do is turn it off at the meter first, test everything. If there is a leak, now we would come to this valve. If it was not a gate valve, if it was a ball valve, we would shut it off here to try to determine if the leak's in the house or the yard. If we went inside and turned off the valve to the water heater and it still leaked, that would tell me that it was on the cold side under the house. As long as it's holding here, it's holding there, we're testing different things. So what the whole step process is, check everything that you can and then isolate down. Check the entire system, which we're doing right now, and actually it's holding. But if there was a leak on the inside, we'd shut this to see if it's still leaking. Now, one of the other things that I checked in the very beginning was the double check, the backflow preventer. The reason being, a lot of times water will leak through that. Irrigation systems can be a very big problem for people. So we always try to isolate that if we can. Again, if it's got old rotten handles or things like that, it may need to be replaced. But sometimes we can listen to it just to see if water's going through it. So after you isolate everything down, you take your leak detection equipment, come around to every single thing, put it on it, press your trigger, and listen to what noises it's making. If there's a leak, you're gonna be able to hear it. And what you're trying to do is get in the right spot where you can hear what kind of noises it's making to determine if you've really got a problem or where it is. Once you isolate that problem, then you know right where to either tunnel, make a hole in the floor, or whatever it is you have to do. If there's anything you do different on leak detection, do me a favor, leave me a comment down below. Number one, what equipment do you use? I use Leaktronics, I use Leak Pro, and also I'm in the process of developing my own equipment because there's just things about these that I would like to do a little bit different. But what steps and processes do you follow? And do they work for you? I can tell you by looking at this gauge, this is good. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber. I'll see you in the next video if you don't get flushed.